Hey everyone, and a very warm welcome to the channel. Ever scroll through your feed and see this super catchy bouncy text animation that just grabs your eye? Well, get ready to add that same magic to your own projects, because today I'm going to break down exactly how you can create this viral bouncy text effect in Adobe After Effects. And I promise you it's going to be super simple and a lot of fun. So let's jump right into After Effects and get started. So firstly, let's create a new composition. Go to composition and create a new composition, or you can hit Ctrl N for the shortcut. Let's name this as bounce text, and for the preset I will go with 1920 by 1080, which is horizontal landscape, and for the frame rate let's go with 30 frame per second, or maybe let's go with 60 frame per second. The higher the frame rate, the more smoother your animation will be. Okay, so always choose 60 frame per second for the most smoother animation. Okay, for the resolution let's set it to default like full, and let's choose the duration to something around 10 seconds, and for the background color let's set it to default black. Hit OK. Now let's create a background first. So I have created this background. Let's copy it. You can create from scratch. Let's hit Ctrl C to copy it, and let's Ctrl V to paste the background. So I have this background with a grid on it. Now let's create a text animation. So grab the text type tool, the horizontal type tool, and type any text you like. Let's type bounce text animation. Select your text. Let's change the fill color to white, and for the font I'm going with the SF Pro Display bold style. You can go with any font you like. Let's align it horizontally and vertically in the composition, in the center of the composition. Hit V to get back to the selection tool, and now make sure the anchor point is in the center again. Now select your text, and now here I'm using the free script called Text Explorer to split the word by word, to split this sentence a word by word. You can do it manually, but this script makes a lot of hard work super simple. So I'm going to apply this. So select your text layer and change the split into words. Make sure the delete original is checked, and layer order set to top to bottom, and just hit apply. Okay, so your word by word will be split into different layers. Okay, now holding shift select all the three layers and make sure the anchor point is in the center of the text. Now select your text and make all the three layers 3D. Okay, by clicking on this 3D icon. Now hit P to open the position property and make a keyframe on position, and hit T to open the opacity property and just make a keyframe on opacity. Now hit U to see both the properties keyframes. Now select all the keyframes and just move forward something around 2 frames forward, not too much. Now get back to the beginning of the timeline and just drag the vertical position of these text something like this, not too much vertical. Just drag the opacity back to 0%. Okay, so our text animation will look like this, but it's quite boring. So let's fix it. Select your first layer keyframes, and just here I'm using the bounce ARP script. You can use the bounce expression too, but this works fine for me. So select your keyframes, and in the bounce ARP script just set the property to selected, and just choose the expression to overshoot plus, and just click on bounce it, and the bounce expression will be applied to your text. Now here in the effect controls panel just change the amplitude to 35 for the more smoother bounce. Okay, now let's quickly apply it to all the three layers. Yeah, now it's animated. Now hit U to hide all the properties. Now what you have to do is just stagger these layers one by one. So select holding shift, select all the three layers, and just I'm using the Motion Tools Pro Panel plugin. You can manually stagger these layers one by one, but I'm using this Motion Tools panel. Just in the effects or in the panel, just click the number value to something around 2, change the step value to 1, and just click on this effect 1 to 2 times maybe. Yeah, this works fine. Now lastly turn on the motion blur for all the three text layers, and now let's see our final animation. Our bounce animation is quite slow, so holding shift select all the text layers, hit U to see their keyframes. Now just expand the timeline to little more closer. You can see the frames by frames. So let's set the playhead to around 5 frames first. Select these last two keyframes and just drag these keyframes here, something around here. So you have to see that the more closer the keyframes, the more catchy bounce will be applied to your text layer. Okay, so let's see our animation. Now this works fine. I think let's make it look more closer. Now this works fine. Okay, let's drag this second layer and just drag these last two keyframes a little closer. Drag the third layer something around this. Select last two keyframes and just drag this closer. Now this works fine. Okay, hit U to hide all the properties. Now let's see our animation. Now this works fine. Okay, now let's do the reverse animation. So or again, holding shift, select all the text layers, hit U to see their keyframes. Now add around 15 frame maybe. Just make a keyframe on all the properties to give it a pause. Move the playhead to around 1 frame maybe, and now just drag the vertical position to upwards, something like this. Just drag the opacity all above to 0%. Okay, now you have to just manually stagger these keyframes 1 to 2 frame forward, something like this. Let's select all the keyframes. Let's make it more far. Now let's see our animation. Something like this. Now let's split these text layer frame by frame. So select the first layer and hit Alt and right bracket to split the layer from this frame. Now holding Control and right and left arrow keys, just move the playhead to the second layer and again hit Alt right bracket to split the layers, and do the same for the third. Okay, now hit End to mark a frame up, and just hit U to hide all the frames, keyframes, and just see our final animation. Okay, so one thing you have to keep in mind, the more closer the keyframes, the more bouncy text animation you will be. So I've just given an example for you. You can just drag these keyframes more far, something around here, something like here. Just drag these layers, something around here, and now just drag these keyframes little far, something like this. And now let's see our animation. Let's set a markup, something around here. Yeah, this works fine. Again, select all the layers, hit U to hide all the keyframes, and now lastly, let's see our final playback. Perfect. And that is a wrap. How cool was that? You have just nailed one of the most popular animation trends. Now I've got something special for you. You can grab the free project file and all the assets from the link down in the description to play around with. Don't forget to be a part of our creative family. Follow me on Instagram for your daily dose of inspiration. And if you would like to help me create more tutorials like this, you can give me a small support by joining my Patreon page. For the price of less than 1 meal, you can be a patron and help this channel grow. Every bit helps. Thanks for being here. Keep experimenting, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers.